Welcome back, Nerd Squad! While some superheroes are known for their ties to their offspring, who often seem to follow in their footsteps, like Superman, Batman, and other superheroes who are known for their commitment to their family like Luke Cage and Jessica Jones, and Jessica Drew, there are still some superheroes who you might have forgotten have a family life, in addition to their life as a superhero. And some may have just managed to keep it so secret that you never knew. Maybe they didn't want anyone to know because they were protecting their family. Today we'll be taking a look at some of these more secret or lesser known parents as we count down the top 10 superheroes you didn't know were parents. And be sure to stick around till the end of this list where I will have some bonus content coming your way. Alright, let's get counting. Number 10, Captain Marvel. This messed up story of parenthood belongs to the Avengers and Carol Danvers. That's right, we're talking about the bizarrely written Avengers issue 200. Carol gave birth to a son who would be revealed to have kind of been her consort as well. Marcus, who after he was born grew up impossibly fast, revealed that he was the son of a Mortis, born of a human woman who looked almost identical to Carol, and his father into Limbo. Being born in Limbo, he was actually unable to leave it. Now wanting to leave Limbo, he plotted to do so through plucking Carol out of her own time, wooing her, aka manipulating her with machines of his father's design, and impregnating her. Yep. So that he could in essence travel to Earth in her womb. However, the machine he had created once reborn on Earth to stabilize his weird out-of-timey-wimey limbo energy ended up getting destroyed. Carol confesses that she apparently loves her son slash, I guess in a weird way, her romantic partner? Ew, and chooses to return with him back to Limbo since he can't stay on Earth. Fortunately, this whole situation later got fixed, but at the time, she was randomly pregnant without any recollection as to how that had happened, and then chose to leave with basically her kidnapper again. And the Avengers did nothing and simply wished her a happily ever after. Bye, Carol, I'm sure this is fine. Not a parenthood that you would want to remember, however, one that is difficult to forget. Once you know about it anyways. I feel like not too many people know about that issue, but now you do if you didn't. Number 9, Black Panther and Storm. No, sadly, this story of parenthood is not from the main continuity, but man, wouldn't it be awesome if it was? Although they have not had children on Earth 616 just yet, in the alternate universe of Next Avengers, Earth 555326, they do have a son together named Azari. Azari does have the combined powers of his parents and also demonstrates enhanced intellect as well as both having unarmed and armed combat training in various styles. Number 8, POWERGIRL. This is a whole wacky story that always takes me longer to explain than I think it's going to. But here we go. Basically, POWERGIRL has a pretty crazy, immaculate conception, which turned out to have been caused by her grandfather. Wait for it, who she thought was deceased but was actually just in hiding. Now, her grandfather basically caused her to be impregnated by a demon because she was supposed to give birth to a great champion who came from both sides of good and evil, and therefore was pretty much invincible and perfect. POWERGIRL could not be bothered to come up with a name and kept calling him baby until the infant grew insanely fast and took the name Equinox. That's right, her baby named itself. And then later he tells his mom POWERGIRL to basically just get her own life before vanishing. He's like, Mom, get over it. You had an immaculate conception. I'm all grown up now. Bye. Yep, you can check out this bizarre story in the 90s Justice League International series and during the 0 Hour event in Justice League America. Also out of, you guessed it, the 90s. It's pretty awful. Oh, 90s comics, you were weird. Number 7, Starfire and Nightwing. Well, it might not have ended up working out for the Starfire and Dick Grayson of Earth 0. On Earth 22, the two had a child together. Unfortunately, in this reality, Coriander perished when her daughter Marie was young. And Marie grew up never quite seeing eye to eye with her father. Nightstar, oddly enough, was actually closer to Bruce than Dick, who she saw as a grandfather figure. Also, I don't know if it's Marie or Mary like Dick Grayson's mom, but you guys can debate that in the comments. Well, how do you think we should say that one? Marie or Mary? Because I know it's got the apostrophe, but still. Number 6, Aquaman and MERA. Known as Aqua Baby, Arthur Curry Jr. was the bundle of joy born to and the sometimes sidekick of his parents Aquaman and Queen MERA. Young Arthur unfortunately would end up dead at the hands of Black Manta. His mother raced to save his life, but she was just too late. In the end, it was Arthur's death that drove MERA and Aquaman to separate. MERA actually blamed Aquaman Aquaman's weak genes for their son's demise, and despite Aquaman trying to make amends, Arthur's loss made both parents vengeful and somewhat cold. It was pretty intense. MERA would become mentally unstable and later become so hateful that she would be chosen to become a Red Lantern in the Blackest Night event. Number 5. Hank Pym. So while you might be aware that Hank has a daughter, Hope, in the MCU, were you aware that he also has a daughter in the main Marvel comic continuity as well? His daughter was actually a pretty big secret that Hank seemed to have kept for most of the time that we'd known him in the comics. She was his daughter from his first marriage to Maria Trovea. Nadia Pym was actually raised away from her father in Russia's Red Room. Confusingly enough, Nadia ends up escaping the Red Room as an adult and returning to her father's home in America, discovering that he has already died. In a weird turn of events, Nadia ends up really connecting with her kinda stepmom, Janet Van Dyne, which leads her to take Janet's surname legally, becoming Nadia Van Dyne. So in case you're wondering why we all call her that, that's why. It's kinda weird. Number 4. Wonder Woman. So there have actually been a couple of times that Diana Prince became a mom. In Kingdom Come, she and Superman have a son together who they also, like Lois and Clark, name Jonathan Kent. This Jonathan is also raised by Batman as well, who is his godfather. But each of the 3 superheroes, in a way, kind of acts like a parental figure to him. He is insanely powerful and goes by the superhero name Hyperman. Earth 2 Wonder Woman also had a child, but with Steve Trevor instead of Superman. Together, her and Steve had a daughter named Hippolyta Trevor. She had similar powers to her mother, though wasn't quite as powerful, and she went by the superhero codename Fury. No relation to Nick Fury, obviously. Number 3. Wally West / The Flash. Before Flashpoint happened, Wally West was married to Linda Park with 2 kids, Iris II and Jay. Both of his children ended up being born with speedster powers and their own connection to the Speed Force. Following Flashpoint, this happy family unit was broken up when Wally didn't seem to remember his kids. Fortunately, more recently in the series, Flash Forward, we've seen Wally and Linda once more reunited with their children, whom Wally found still existed as part of the Dark Multiverse. He was later on able to get them back to the main continuity of Earth Zero, where Linda once more remembered them as well. Aw, sweet. Number 2. Wade having a child is somewhat surprising because we don't often see him with his daughter, and it is also surprising because is Deadpool. As busy as Wade is romancing the ladies, he isn't really what you think of when you think of your standard, father material. He's crazier than a sack of ferrets, after all. Ellie is actually the daughter of Wade Wilson and Carmelita Camacho. Carmelita only slept with Wade because she thought she was about to die, but tracked him down later once Ellie was born in an attempt to make him start taking financial responsibility for his daughter. Sadly, Carmelita ended up targeted and killed as a result of her connection to Deadpool as the mother of his child. Number 1. Venom / Eddie Brock. This one was a pretty fun and recent reveal in the comics. Dylan Brock is the son of Eddie Brock and Anne Wang. He came into being shortly after She-Venom had become a thing. So in a way, he's also kind of Venom's son as well. The symbiote had left a bit of themselves in Anne following the existence of She-Venom, known as a codex. This bit of Venom, this codex that was left behind, merged with Dylan when he was still unborn and within his mother's womb, and decided to leave baby Dylan with Eddie's dad, who ended up raising him. Later on, Dylan would escape his abusive paternal grandfather and end up in Eddie's care during the Absolute Carnage event, where it all finally came out that Dylan was Eddie's son. Prior to this, Dylan assumed that Eddie was actually his brother, or his half-brother. Thank you so much for watching, Nerd Squad. I hope you enjoyed this list and learned about some characters and their kids that maybe you didn't know about previously, or didn't know that they were connected. Which superhero would you like to see start a family? Who are some of your favorite super families and parents? Who are some of your favorite adopted children for superheroes? Do you prefer when superheroes' kids also grow up to be super, or do you prefer when they decide to do something different than their parents? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And speaking of comments, it's time to turn to some comments from one of our latest videos, Top 10 Superhero Events Shut Down by the Global Crisis. Daryl Davis comments, I feel truly sorry for local comic stores, as well as the thing affecting this world. I just know my comic store is such a small place, and my sister and I have been going for years. Oh no, well I hope your comic store manages to hang in there, make it through the crisis, and I hope that there is some kind of relief that can be provided for businesses who are suffering as a result in your area. I feel very fortunate that I am still able to support my store through online purchases, and I hope that you're able to return to your comic shop soon for your monthly dose of comics. And that's all the time we have for comments today. Be sure to comment below for a chance to have your thoughts and feels shouted out in a future list. This has been Top 10 Nerd, and I'm your host Amanda McKnight, reminding you, as always, to stay nerdy, YouTube.